Do you struggle building decks in Hearthstone? Do you make poor trades, miss lethal, generally misplay, without even realizing you're doing so? Do you struggle with the idea of tempo? Or are you just bad at the game? Then look no further than Neon31's competitive Hearthstone website, hearthstone-decks.net. It has all the standard and wild decks you need to climb up the Hearthstone ladders, weekly reports, guides, articles, and much, much more. And even you, the everyday casual player, can hit Legend, even rank 1 Legend, using Neon31's website, hearthstone-decks.net. Greetings everyone, Slizzle466 here, and in today's video we're looking at my top decks for the Saviors of Uldum expansion for the wild mode in Hearthstone. At number 7 we have Gangplank's Murloc Shaman. This is a very typical build to what he ran in the past, but with the addition of Murmy, the 1 mana 1/1 Murloc with Reborn. This gives Shaman a sticky minion to work with. Yes, Soul of the Murlocs is a card, but it's a little bit slow. So this deck just gives the early game a little bit of a better push, as if it didn't need it already. And definitely a deck that is very aggressive and can close out games very quickly. At number 6, we have Big Priest. This is M3S's take on Big Priest that he took to top 100 Legend, and it's featuring Colossus of the Moon, the 10 mana 10/10 with Divine Shield and Reborn. So this card essentially gives you 4 trades over turns. With 10 attack, it's going to kill most things. Yes, with the Reborn, it can get pinged. It's a lot easier to kill, but it's just a very high value card, and bringing it back over and over again can be very irritating for your opponent. At number 5, we have Reno Mage. Now, Reno Mage has taken the wild meta by storm. And as of this recording, there are 6 different lists that have seen success at Legend, and this is personally my favorite, Toxic Claw's 666's take. It's running Ancient Mysteries, which helps you draw a secret from your deck. It costs 0, so if you're desperate for that Ice Block, desperate for that Potion of Polymorph against a Big Priest, you can get that. Zephyrus the Great, as we have discovered, is just an absolutely ridiculous card. It's also an elemental that synergizes with the Frostlet's Jaina, but if you just need that card, as long as you manipulate your mana correctly, there are some little intricacies with the card. It's a powerhouse of a card. Flame Ward is also Mage's new favorite board clear. People still don't play around it properly. I think in a few weeks they will, but it's just a deck it's a card that punishes people like crazy. Cloud Prince is basically a fireball with a body. The 1 mana increase is nothing. You usually always have a secret in play. And a big thing here, it's an elemental. So with Frostlet's Jaina up, if you deal that 6 damage, you also heal for 6, which can sometimes be quite significant. Kartut Defender. This is a card that kind of looked kind of boring, but it's actually quite a lot of value. 6 mana 3/4 taunt doesn't seem that good, but when it's got Death Rattle, restore 3 health, and it has a Reborn, it's basically restore 6 health, and you get 2 taunts of value, which is probably better than Sludge Belcher. And then we've got Reno the Relicologist. The 6 mana 4/6 Battlecry, deal 10 damage random among enemy minions. This is basically a board clear with a body. You can usually clear a board with this. Some lists run Brand, so you could do 20 damage on turn 9 if you wanted to. And the value of this card is so good that sometimes you even just want to Zola it back to your hand so you can play it again. So really good card to have in your Highlander or your Reno Mage lists. At number 4, we have Eileen Nico's Reno Warlock. Eileen Nico is an excellent deck builder. I took their Odd Rogue deck to High Legend last month, And this is a pretty standard looking Reno lock, but with the addition of Zephyrus. Zephyrus the Great it's kind of like a second Kazakus, but maybe it's better than Kazakus. Just this card enables so many Highlander decks in Wild that it's just a great card to have in the format. At number 3, we have Secret Mage. Again, this is another deck from M3S. He hit Legend with this deck, and this is probably one of the most popular decks on the Wild ladder at the moment. This specific list is almost identical to Slate's list that he theory crafted before the expansion. Slate's list is the one that many players, including myself, took to Legend quite easily. And the big thing about M3S's list is it's running Eater of Secrets. It's a very sneaky little tech to help him win the mirror match, but I really like it, and it makes your opponents really mad, which is funny. At number 2, we have Odd Paladin. Odd Paladin is still going strong, especially with all the Secret Mages flying around. Odd Paladin is still favored against Secret Mage, and the one new card that is seeing some success is Brazen Zealot. The 1 mana 2/1, whenever you summon a minion, gain +1 attack. So you can put this down on turn 1, you can hero power, it becomes a 4/1 if it's still alive, and then you can play Muster for Battle on 3, and you've got a 7/1. So it can steal wins sometimes. It's just a crazy card, especially when comboed with things like Seal of Champions to try and just keep it alive. It's a very sneaky little card that can do a lot of damage if it's left unchecked. And at number 1, we have Even Shaman. So Even Shaman, this is Seal Hoon's list. Even Shaman got a lot of new tools from the Saviors of Uldum expansion. First one being Totemic Surge. This is essentially a Savage Roar for 0 mana for your totems, which is ridiculous. I mean, you could even play 2 of them. One thing with Even Shaman is sometimes it runs out of steam, and you just have this board full of useless totems, and your opponent's just like, I'm just going to start going face. And then you can punish them back with Totemic Surge. We've also got Evil Totem, which gives Even Shaman access to lackeys, which is a really big deal. We've seen how powerful lackeys can be in decks like Odd Rogue, and the fact that it's a 0/2, I mean, it's kind of easy to kill, but it can typically live for 2 turns, and just getting 2 lackeys off it, even just 1 lackey, is just incredible. There's also Sandstorm Elemental. So Sealhoon is running this over Maelstrom Portal. I'm not 100% sold about this decision. I understand that this does give you a guaranteed 2/2. It is an elemental, so if you're running Earthen Might in your deck, you've got some synergies, but you don't have the option to roll spell power to deal 2 damage, and it does have Overload 1. So I'd have to test this more thoroughly to decide whether I'd want to run Maelstrom Portal instead, or do we run both of them? It's probably a bit much to run Sandstorm and Maelstrom Portal. And last of all, we have Vicina. This is the Shaman Legendary 4 mana 2/6. Well, you're overloaded, your other minions have +2 attack. And what you've got to keep in mind here is similar to Lickham, overload effects last for 2 turns. So if your Vicina lives for 2 turns, your other minions have +2 attack for 2 turns, which can be really out of control in some cases. If you want to try out any of the decks discussed in this video, the deck codes are in the description below. If there are any other decks that you would be interested in to try, let me know in the comments. I can provide you a deck code. And until next time, I hope to see you again.